in style, let's dance for a while. Heaven can wait, we're only watching the skies. Hoping for the best, but expecting the worst. Are you gonna drop the bomb or not? Let us die young or let us live forever. We don't have the power, but we never say never. Sitting in a sandpit, life is a short trip. The music's for the sad man. Can you imagine when this race is won? Turn our golden faces into the sun. Praising our leaders, we're getting in tune. The music's played by the madman. Forever young, I want to be forever young. Do you really want to live forever? Forever, forever, forever.
The Amish community.
I want to be forever young. Do you really want to live forever? Forever young. Some are like water, some are like the heat. Some are a melody and some are the beat. Sooner or later they all will be gone. Why don't they stay young? It's so hard to get old without a cause. I don't want to perish like a fleeing horse. Youth like diamonds in the sun, and diamonds are forever. So many adventures couldn't happen today. So many songs we forgot to play. So many dreams swinging out of the blue. But let them come true. Forever young, I want to be forever young.
Hello.
I want to live forever.
My God, I'm clad in white today. I am clad in white today. What a song to start with, by the way. Mentally, I'm only 5 anyway. Yes, likewise. Riggs, what's going on? Bucky, Ron, Benny, Bob, the boys. Forgive me for starting late today. I was cooking up some beef. Happened to look at the time and went, oh shit. I got my beef done, got down here and set up streaming like 2 minutes flat. Delish. I've wanted to be Gandalf since I was a kid. That's a goal right there. That's a goal. The gray or the white kind? Is that the gray kind or the white kind? I'm kind of like Gandalf the Fat right now. However, did I already grease myself? I already greased myself. The joys of eating meat all the time. Beef and broth sounds really good right now. I have 2 dogs begging right now. I am dog sitting for a friend of mine who's on vacation. His dog is the biggest scaredy cat, big old mutt. He's huge. He's literally under the desk right now, curled up in a ball. I finally got him to warm up to me. I bartered with him with some beef. He appeared to really like the beef. I doubt we'll get an appearance today. Maybe I can stick the camera down there. He's a little scaredy cat. Exactly, gray or white? Gray for me. I'm gonna be the white. Number one, because I'm wearing white. I hear you begging down there. I hear you begging. I'm gonna be the white. Number one, because I'm wearing all white today. Number two, my mom, who's my genetics takes after thoroughly. I got the mama genes big time. She went completely gray by like 35. It's hard to see. I'm starting to get a lot of grays and whites going on, so I will be pure white here in the next couple of years. Oops, wrong screen. All right, Carrie is talking about the Amish some more. Let's listen to Carrie talk about the Amish. See what's going on with the Ams, the Mennonites perhaps. Perhaps this isn't just Amish. Perhaps there might be some Mennonites today as well. I'm going to keep chowing down and finish my beef before it gets cold. Absolutely nailed this beef.
The Amish community is yearning to learn more about a carnivore diet. After a 17-year-old girl who was having horrible seizures found healing, The rest of the community wants to learn more about what is going on and how they can heal themselves. This video is...
Yeah, Gandalf the White was way too serious. Gandalf the Gray had a lot of whimsy going on. Man had a lot of whimsy. Danced in it even.
Something else. Buckle up. Let's get started.
We are addicted to sugar.
Yeah.
That became real for me.
Yes.
After I did this for a week.
15 years ago, Jen and I pulled a couple out of a burning car.
It's kind of the story about heroes taking action when they know that there's absolutely no time to wait.
Trying to figure out some way to free the couple from the burning car.
Also, something leaking underneath, and there's actually fire on the ground.
Harry was able to find a rock and started breaking out the window.
We looked into, there's 2 oxygen tanks in the back. The woman was on oxygen.
I'm helping these people and I'm risking my lives. And
Oh shit! Carrie out here dragging people out of cars and stuff? God damn, what a man. I got my fear of needles and almost became a diabetic like her. That's scary stuff, man. Scary stuff. I still consider myself so lucky that I never became diabetic. I consider myself so extremely lucky. Again, ran my glucose this morning, 92 on the dot. Very
I thought of
lucky.
my kids right away.
The 3 of them were able to pull the couple and the oxygen tanks out of the car to safety.
Literally a couple seconds.
I got a fun one for you. Take a guess what my blood pressure was last night. I was actually shocked. I have my mother's face. I'm just glad she's a better looking man than a woman. Hell yeah, brother.
Seconds afterwards, there was just flames coming out. First it was black smoke, but then it was just
Not
flames
that
coming
low,
out the
but
whole
close.
front of the
Not
car.
that
It was
low,
just
but close.
burning up.
The Mans have 4 daughters and say this is a good example for them of doing what's right.
I'm not sharing this to pat ourselves on the
170,
back.
169.
I'm sharing it
God
because
damn.
that day taught me something I've never forgotten.
This dude only lives about 3 hours away from me. Makes me wonder if he's running his own movie might be worth the drive. Could be. It's a really good documentary. So Healing Humanity is a really good movie. I'm so bummed it's not on the website so you guys can just go watch it. 9867. Rom's still a little low. You got the bottom number. You got my bottom number dialed right in pretty good. Betty's a little high. Little high. It was 110 over 68. 110 over 68. I was very happy with that. 110.68. I'll take that all day.
It was the greatest feeling in the world, helping to save someone's life. Here's the thing about that day. They needed help.
Good
And
pressure
we were in a
indeed.
position to give it.
My pulse
That's it.
ox was
That's the whole story.
99.64.
Now, as
110 over
carnivores,
68 BP
a lot of
and
us
92
know
glucose. I was
what this
very
way
happy
of
with that.
eating has done for us. We want everyone to find this kind of healing.
Give it
But
up.
the truth is,
I should not be talking
most
with my
people
mouth
don't
full.
want our help. You
Ketones
can't
look
save
really good.
someone who doesn't
Ketones
want to
look
be
really good.
saved. That's what makes this
This is the
video
week.
different.
I can feel it. This is the week.
Jen bought Vera, a 17-year-old girl in Williams community who was having horrible,
That's why I shouldn't talk with my
life-threatening
mouth full.
seizures, a keto mojo.
Was a 17-year-old literally dying from seizures.
We've known since she was probably 11.
You don't know, Joe. Hey, give me that. Sure, yeah. I got one, damn it. I got
Was
one,
that
damn
great? Oh my gosh!
Literally
God damn, I
all
almost just
night
choked right
long
there.
having seizures. Delivered
I'm
it
gonna
to
let this
them,
play. I'm gonna finish my
thinking,
beef.
are
real
they
quick.
even going to use this? This is technology. This is a battery-powered electronic device. And then we left them, and this was like a month ago. And so William called us, urgently said, can you guys stop by? It was that serious and somber the way he was saying it when we first got out of the car and started talking to him.
No.
And then he smiled, and oh man, I'm gonna start crying now. He's like, she's doing incredible.
Yeah.
And this is an Amish man who doesn't show his emotions.
No.
I thought he was gonna cry.
Yeah.
He said, this is incredible. Like, he literally said this saved her.
I'll tell you what, Rom. For me being a big old dude, you'd think me getting out in the heat, I'd be pouring sweat like crazy. I don't. I go to the gym. I go to the gym and work out on the floor. I do my cardio. I do the elliptical. I do lifting. I do all of it. I don't sweat. I literally do not sweat until I'm in a steam sauna at 200 degrees. I don't get it. When I'm working out, I'll get a couple beads running down my forehead, but pits, chest, everything. Absolutely nothing until I'm in a sauna. I don't get it.
Okay, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
You doing better?
Yeah.
Do you have any more seizures?
They had completely quit. Yeah.
Wow.
And since then, Jen and I have been in and out of the Amish community together,
She wants us to talk to Vera quick because she's got more people that need help.
sharing more keto mojos, sharing more lessons on metabolic health and healing.
Irvin and Ella need help.
Irvin.
And they want a keto mojo. And
You don't hear the name
Please
Irvin often.
generously gifted
You really
them one. So
don't.
we're going to head over there first.
And so when William asked me to come teach 30 Amish people, practically an entire village, about the carnivore diet, I said yes immediately. And there is nothing that is a greater
I'm a prolific sweater, but I live in a hot and wet place after I get my body adapted. Yeah, I hear you.
blessing than when
Even
people
our rough
are
days up
actually
here are like
asking
92
and
degrees,
seeking
so
this
I
kind of
really
help.
can't complain. If I was down in Texas, it'd be a different story. It'd be a completely different story.
2,000 years ago, Hippocrates said, all disease begins in the gut. Doctors take an oath, let food be thy medicine. But we've lost our way, especially in the English community where everything is for profit. All of the incentives are set up for profit. They never treat the root cause.
Dude, I'm telling you, Bucky, I don't sweat. I go in the dry sauna and I don't sweat. I feel like I might have a condition. I honestly feel like I might have a condition. Maybe that's why I retain water, because I just don't sweat. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I go, unfortunately, the dry sauna at my gym only goes to 165 degrees. Not hot enough for me. See, the difference is for me, the steam sauna, I'm pouring sweat. I am absolutely pouring sweat. Whereas I'll start sweating in the dry sauna if I stay in there for like 25 minutes. And I'll start to sweat just a little bit. Just a little tiny bit. However, I go in that steam sauna, I am pouring sweat in like 2 seconds flat. That's why I do the steam. Do 20 at a 190. Yeah, that's my problem. That's my problem. That's literally 40 minutes at 165. I'm probably good on that. In the dry, oh my God, my sinuses after 40 minutes. The dry one cooks my sinuses too. It really dries me out. Really, really dries me out. And that's if. It only goes to 165, and that's if you're lucky. If something's wrong with it, if people are in and out all the time, that thing sits at like 145 degrees. It is not hot enough in there. It is not hot enough in there. I don't know why they have it so low, because the steam is like close to 200. It's 180 to 200 in the steam. So that's why I do it. When I go in a sauna, I leave a pool of sweat everywhere. I don't. Not in the dry sauna. I don't know. Maybe there's something wrong with me. Maybe that's where all my water retention comes from. To 40, that felt easier than 20 minutes sometimes. Oh, I'm sure. The one benefit I like of the dry sauna is I can sit in there with my phone and just tinker and do stuff, whereas the steam, I gotta sit there with my own thoughts, and I don't know if I like that or not.
Surgeries that make millions and millions of dollars.
And when she eats this way, she feels great. So when she eats this SAB diet, standard American diet, she's like,
Steam is coming off you for a few minutes. Yeah, I like a nice hot shower.
Yeah.
that became real.
My wife always questions me too, because when it's like 90, 95 degrees and humid as hell, I'll take the hottest shower ever, because reasonably, when you take a shower that hot, even when it's 90 degrees out, you're going to get out and that 90 degrees is going to feel a whole lot cooler. Whereas if you want to take a cold shower, it's going to feel nice while you do it, but when you get out, you're going to feel twice as bad. That's my reasoning.
Yes.
After I did this for a week.
Today's video is sponsored by LabCorp On Demand. Special offer is seen here on me. Any questions?
Goodbye, Ed.
So we have a couple people here that are here because if they heard what happened with Vera's seizures.
Yeah.
So you got.
I was starting the scene for 20 and sauna for 20, and then get a cold shower. I do.
Right now and research a keto diet,
You know what I do, Benny, is I do.
100 years, maybe going on
right now, my normal rotation is 15 to 20 in the steam sauna. As soon as I walk out of the steam sauna, I do an ice cold shower, cold as it gets. shock myself, get all rinsed off, and then I do the dry sauna for around 5 minutes. Not enough to start pouring sweat again, but enough to dry off. I use the dry sauna to dry myself off after the shower so I'm not soaking wet in the locker room. That is my strategy. However, I could do that. I could do 20 in the steam, take a shower, do like 10 in the dry, take another shower, go back to the dry, dry off. But that starts becoming a very long gym session when I've already been in the pool for like an hour and 40 minutes at that point. Because it takes me 2,000 meters in a pool does not sound like a lot. It is. It is while you're doing it. The 2,000 meters in the pool takes me about an hour. So by the time I get to the pool, get ready, get a lane, get in there, swim my 2K, I'm talking an hour 15, and I usually hit the hot tub on the way out. That's another 10 or 15 there. It's like an hour 15 to an hour 45, just my swim session. Then if I start tagging, then I tag on 20 minutes for a sauna, shower, other stuff, and that's just a cardio day. That's just a cardio pool day. If I'm working out, I've been on the floor lifting for like an hour and a half to 2 hours. I'm exhausted at 50 meters. I'm telling you, Bucky, dude, it's rough. It's rough. My last session, I set out to do my 2K. I only did 1,000. I did 1,000 meters my last session. Oh my God. Swim is different. Swim is a very different kind of strength. I wanted to go today. I had intended to go to the gym today, but I completely forgot that I'm babysitting or dog watching for the week. I have an additional dog for the week who's curled up down by my feet, and he's a very good boy. He's a very good boy. Yeah, you are. Yeah. Named Scooter. Very cool dog. Very cool dog. You turn my fan on. It's getting a little hot in here.
200 years to treat seizures. Your body can be powered by two things. It can be powered
maybe
by
more clean,
ketones,
like scouring my skin or something. I
glucose.
feel that, Rob. I feel that. I really do.
You're actually born into ketosis.
I just like
it's not until
being
we take
in the
that baby
sun.
and start
I just like being in the sun. I'm going to go
and
sit outside
sugar
today
and
with the
changing
dogs
it.
here in a little bit,
But
probably
that is
right
our
after
natural
stream.
default state.
We are only going to run probably right around an hour today. I have so much stuff I got to do this afternoon. I got a lot of running around. Possible work stuff going on, so I got a lot going on this afternoon. We'll go for at least an hour today.
My grandparents would have hunted a big animal. They would have feasted on the meat and the fat, and they probably would have fasted until they found another meal. That might have been another day. That might have been 3 days or 4 days, but it certainly wasn't what we do in the English
that beef
community
just
now.
took it
We're
out of
just
me. That was
grazing and eating 4, 5, 6 times a day. After talking to William and Esther,
that was
we
a
got
big
the
bowl
name
of beef. That
another
was like
Amish family that my wife and I went to, and then we got the name of like 4 more, and we've been, and I think we've handed out quite a few.
I used to sleep in the bed of my pickup in the sun when I was sick. Seemed to always work. Dude, I'll tell you what. I used to have my first car. My first car was a 1993 Ford Probe. And me and my buddy, we used to get done with school for the day. We'd drive home from school and we'd park out in my driveway. Sun would be beating down. I would lay across the roof. I'd lay right on the roof. He would lay across the hood of my car, and we would honestly just take a nap every day after school on top of the car, dude. It felt fantastic. I never did it when I was sick to see if it helped there, but I'll tell you what, something about them little car naps, dude, just laying on top of that thing. Oh my God, it was so nice. So nice. I'm gonna go ground beef. I'm logging my macros before I forget.
Keto Mojos. This is a picture of me. This was about a little over 3 years ago. I was about 100 pounds overweight. I had severe depression, sleep apnea.
I like how
snoring,
Carrie's
brain
basically
fog.
doing a YouTube video
Every
for
time I
him,
would
but
eat
just
food,
with
my
pieces of
stomach
paper.
would
That's
hurt.
awesome.
The reason I stopped snoring so quickly is because my inflammation went away. And that's one of the biggest things that everyone in the world should be worried about, and they're not. When I tell people I'm eating meat, in English, they say...
I'm a gamer, so I was definitely surprised. I am a gamer myself. I am a big old gamer, and I feel you on the sun deprivation. I truly do. Now for maintenance. 952. Okay, there we go. 952 calories of ground beef. 952. Protein, where'd we come out? Protein, we got 64 grams. Oh, excuse me. 75 grams of fat. My goggle. 4 p.m. will be next meal. Actually, if I cook it, I can make wifey chicken sammies. I think I can do that. I can make wifey chicken sammies if I do this right. Beef is done for the day. I'll be doing some chicken thighs.
You're gonna die of a heart attack. And meanwhile, their body's fully inflamed and they have insulin resistance, and those things are. You're 10 times more likely to suffer heart disease if you have inflammation and insulin resistance. The thing that convinced me to do this, and maybe something to think about for each of you if you're looking for healing, is the thing that really convinced me was I wasn't being.
You brought back coffee? Oh yeah, I've been drinking coffee
for
a while.
1,300 days now. I haven't had a single fruit, vegetable, grain of rice. The only thing that's gone in my body
black coffee has been reintroduced.
Beef, butter, bacon, eggs, animal products, lots of eggs.
Does it cause you inflammation? I have no idea.
Because right now in this day and age,
I've not lost all track of stuff I've reintroduced, but like, I don't know. I've been waiting plenty of time in between reintroducing stuff, and everything's gravy, and then all of a sudden it's not. And I can't tie it to anything because it's the same gaps on everything. So I don't know.
Eat than meat, in particular ruminant meat like beef. What happens when people do carnivore like me? I'll eat a big fatty piece of meat, or I'll eat eggs and ground beef for breakfast. I will be full. Oftentimes I'll eat once or twice a day. Then I'll fast naturally, just because I'm not hungry. I'm not starving, I'm just not hungry. So I'll sometimes go 18 hours where I won't eat anything. When you go that 18 hours, back to
I'm feeling it too, Benny. I'm feeling it with the just being deprived of everything. Just being deprived of like different stuff and coffee. Max German also has coffee, and he made a whole video that was a very patient and kind way to tell his audience to shut the fuck up about it. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. I could be out here chugging white monsters or sugar-free Red Bulls or something. I think black coffee is a solid compromise. So keeps me going, dude. Like I need something. You got to understand. Number one, how big of a dietary change all this has been for me. But number two, the fact that I've quit cigarettes on top of that. Quit alcohol. I quit everything. I quit everything. I need some sort of vice. Which I have two now. I have two vices. Black coffee and Zinbobs. Speaking of Zinbobs, let's take a trip down to Zimbabwe, shall we? Nice little trip to Zimbabwe. Also, an interesting development at Meat Stock. Max German is going to be at Meat Stock 2027. Also, I just found out Thomas Massey. You used to cigarette at 562, homie. I smoked Marlboros for 20 years, brother. I only quit smoking like 3 months ago.
Era with the Keto Mojo and checking your...
And it drives me insane. It drives me insane. I know how bad it is. I know how terrible it is. I know the end game of what's going to happen with it. You know what? I love a nice fucking cigarette. I can't help it. It makes me happy. It brings me happiness. I don't have that happiness anymore. All I have is Zin, which is mediocre at best. Scratches the itch, but doesn't get rid of it. Because it causes inflammation for some, yeah, but it's like I gotta have something, Benny. I can't do something. Might go for Thomas. I want to see him at a convention at 2013. Nice.
Ketones and glucose. You get your ketones super high. You get your glucose low.
I'm curious to see. So I was told I am a speaker on a panel for Meat Stock 2027. I was told I'm a speaker on a panel for 2027. Until it happens, I'm not going to believe it. I just have a feeling that it's not going to happen after what happened in 2026. I don't know. I don't know. Time will tell. Time will tell.
You are in a state where your body goes into what's called autophagy. Autophagy is when your cells recycle. Your body sees that you haven't eaten anything for a while, and it's like it's time to recycle these cells. And some of the cells in your body could be, they call them zombie cells, like precancerous cells. Like if they don't recycle out eventually, maybe 30 years down the road, that turns into cancer. Historically speaking, our ancestors didn't have that because they were naturally going through a cycle of eating a big fatty meal, and then fasted. Or they just didn't have the convenience of eating as often as we did. Maybe they wouldn't eat for 2 or 3 days. They would be in
It'd be
autophagy
pretty cool
for
if
2
you
or
came,
3
Buck.
days.
It'd be pretty
The body
cool.
is miraculous what it does too. When it recycles those cells, it's not like those just go
Bullshit.
out in the toilet. The body actually breaks them apart. It reuses the different components.
I need your opinion on something. I kind of want to cut the hair. I know I said I'm growing it out to donate. Even if I cut it now, I'm going to donate it. I have more than enough to donate. But I said it was going to be the big thing for goal weight. I'm getting really tired of my hair. I'm getting really tired of my hair right now. Real tired of it. It's starting to be a lot of upkeep. It's starting to be a lot of upkeep, and it just gets in the way, and I don't know. Am I a dick if I cut it early? Again, it's still getting donated. I still have more than enough to donate. But I'm curious if I'll be a dick if I don't wait till goal weight, because I did say I was going to do that. And I kind of want to hold myself to my word, but I also kind of want my hair gone. Kind of want it gone. Nice, short. I highly recommend chopping. Dude, it's getting to be so much. Like, dude, it's getting to be... Look at that shit. It's so long. Do it twice? Yeah, it's probably the play. It's probably the play. I should be able to, because when I cut it, I want to go short. I want to go short when I cut it. I never said I wouldn't do it twice. That's all I do, Bucky. I've been doing this for years. I grow it and donate it. Grow it, donate it. Grow it, donate it. It's just a never-ending loop. Usually I'm able to do it like every year and a half. However, I've been growing this hair. This is like 2 years. I think I haven't had a haircut in over 2 years now. It's been a long time. It's been a really long time, but there. Oh. It's getting there. I got some hair, man. Oh. Hold on, you want to see something cool? I'm a wishing troll. I'm a wishing troll. Oh, baby. Like, it doesn't even look good. I feel like it doesn't even look good anymore. I feel like it just looks terrible at this point. And I feel like it just looks ghastly.
Those cells, and then it generates new healthy cells. And that's where a lot of the healing happens. The other thing that affects that healing is stress. And it's interesting. William's daughter actually noticed this. To her credit, because she was testing her numbers and she was seeing. And
I have to stick with the troll look, dude. You know how much hairspray it would take to get that to stand up like that? It would take a lot. I have to dig up my senior yearbook photo for you guys. So, boy, you should have seen my hair back then.
On that,
should have seen it.
My numbers go down.
Oh,
usually when that happens, it's stress. So if you have some big
so many more views if I had wishing troll hair, dude. I know.
Track your blood glucose and your ketone numbers. And
it would take so much to get it to stand up like that.
Mind stress, like you're worried about something, you're ruminating, you're losing sleep.
Probably pay for the hair products in the first week.
Which is one of the hardest things for people that have cancer. I have interviewed so many people with terminal stage 4 cancer, and
I had to angle the camera. I'll show you how tall it's really getting. I'll show you how tall it's really getting because I don't think you got the full effect. The camera couldn't even handle how much fucking hair there was. Like, dude, look at that. Look at that. That's nuts. I'm a wishing troll. I only grant evil wishes, though. Look at that. I'm fucking crazy. Dude, I know. I got the Gnome Central going on. You go forward, and you can go up. Oh my god, look at that. That's crazy looking. Oh, shit. Change my name to the Gnome. The Gnome. Soyama Clean, hello. Ladies would kill for that. Dude, I am telling you, ladies love my hair. They absolutely love my hair. Why does this camera not? There we go. There we go. Now we got it back to where it was. The sickest pompadour? I could, dude. I could. I truly could. Huge unicorn pompadour? I really could. I really could. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. If I do decide to cut it, my cousin's a hairstylist. She does all my hair for me, you know, when I do get it cut every couple of years. I want to have fun with it. I want to chop it for the donation. We got to wash it a certain way, and we got to make sure it's like ponytailed up, and then you clip it in a ponytail and send it in all tied together. So you have to do the donation a very specific way. But after the dono, there's still going to be so much hair left. We could have some fun. I kind of, honestly, I want to rock a mullet for a while. I feel like I could rock a really mean mullet. Real mean mullet. Oh, stream going so far, it's fun. And fun, we're talking about my hair and the fact that I look like a wishing troll. Oh, dude, mullets are awesome. I have a buddy of mine that's, he's starting to go bald a little bit. He's starting to go bald on me. What the fuck is it? Is it on my screen? Oh, that was on my screen. It looks like there's a big blob on my chest. There's something on my screen. The Theo Von? Yeah. We could do the Theo haircut. We could definitely do the Theo haircut, Bucky. We definitely could.
If you have cancer, is worry about the cancer every single night before you go to bed. I don't know how you don't worry about it, though. It's a really hard thing. I can't even imagine having stage 4 cancer. But the people that are able to succeed with a diagnosis like that are the people that do a carnivore diet. They get their ketones high, their blood glucose low, and they're able to just not get stressed. I'm going to leave this in God's hands.
Bro, I could do the Amish bowl cut. How about an Amish bowl cut, though? Amish bowl cut would go so hard. I can't grow the Amish beard, though. I can't grow a beard to save my life. I got all this hair on my head. I'll never go bald. But, man, I cannot grow a beard. I cannot grow a beard to save my goddamn life. You stream daily, though, or just on my mood? Man, every now and then. Are you here to improve my stream? Are you here to improve my stream with emotes and reach out to me on Discord? Got to work on that sales pitch.
And I'm not going to ruminate on this. I'm going to let it go. Those are the ones that heal, because as soon as that stress comes, the healing stops and the cancer takes back over. And that's the same thing for almost every health issue.
We all grew up with dairy animals, and we all know fresh dairy cows get ketosis.
As of right now, dairy's the devil. You could definitely go, oh, Benny with the bomb. Dude, Benny, that is the best idea yet. That's the best idea yet. You could definitely go trickier. Yeah. Johnny Bravo, dude. We could pull off a Johnny Bravo. I'd have to bleach the hell out of it. I'd have to bleach the ever-living hell out of it, but we'll have to see. I could probably pull off a Johnny Bravo. Not the body type, for sure. I could be a fat Johnny Bravo. I think that would work a little better, but I could pull off the hair for sure.
And you smell it on their breath. You actually can smell this on people's breath for a little bit.
Yes.
For like a day or so.
That's one of the signals, yeah. My wife tells me I got bad breath. I know I'm in ketosis. It's very noticeable, though. And you're absolutely right, too, about the one thing...
How to handle social situations and food. Tell everyone to leave you alone. Dude, I don't know. Like, the whole social aspect of it, I don't know if it's because most of my friends and family know what I'm doing. How long have I been streaming in general? I don't know. Somewhere between 10 minutes and 3,600 hours. Somewhere in there, yes. Man, was it Ken Berry that was talking to a doctor who explained the stress causes blood clots, was more down to cause arterial damage? Dude, that's the biggest thing I'm trying to work on right now, Ram, is stress levels. Stress levels have got to come down. I live in a state of existential dread in my mind, and I don't know how to fix it. I have some appointments coming up that we're kind of going to work on things about, and I definitely want to be very open about the mental health stuff that I'm going through right now, because I know a lot of people are in the same spot, and it's a very difficult thing for people to talk about. So I am trying to broadcast that as much as possible, but that would be a good interview to find. That would be a really good interview to find. I'd like to watch that one.
That messes a lot of people up, is getting together with...
Oh, but like I was saying, like handling food in social situations, the biggest thing for me is that I haven't had a problem socially yet. I literally socially have not had any issues because all of my friends, all of my family all know what I'm doing. They all watch the videos I'm making, which is amazing. I love all of them for that. But they all know what I'm doing. So I'm starting to go to friends' houses and stuff, and they're like having carnivore options for me and stuff. It's crazy. It's crazy nice of people. Just absolutely kind. Absolutely kind. That he thinks you're awesome. That does help. That does help. I have 2 dogs right now. I have 2 dogs. Oh, the camera won't reach down there. Hold on. I gotta try and get a picture of Kenworth right now. He's adorable. Hold on. Let me see if I can snag this picture of Kenworth quick. He's holding his beak in his paws. All right, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this or not. So, Kenworth's bed, he has a bed down here in my office underneath my desk. And my dog lays in a way. Oh, thank you, Soy. Thank you. But here's the thing. He holds his snout in his paws sometimes. You can tell when he's being a little grump because he holds his snout right in his paws. It's the funniest thing. So I have him on one side. Scooter, you want to take a picture? Want to take a picture? So that is one side right now. I have Kenworth on the left leg, and then on the right leg, I am watching my friend's dog. This is Scooter. So we have Scooter on my other leg right now, which sounds fantastic. Which sounds utterly fantastic, but it's also like 85 degrees in this room, and with 2 fur balls on my feet, it's starting to get hot. So I literally just have a pile of dogs down by my feet right now. It's hilarious. Stare out my window? Yeah, dude, I like just staring at stuff. I like just staring off into the distance, especially outside in nature. That's what I do, Rom. I go to the lake. The lake I make all the videos on with like the big, gorgeous background and stuff. I just go sit over there sometimes, just stare off into the distance. Oh, excuse me.
Other individuals. This is in the English community too. It's one of the biggest things.
I think it's been long enough since I quit smoking. I'm starting to finally clear stuff out of my lungs. And God,
every holiday is celebrated with food, with other
absolutely
people.
Gross.
And when you go there and you're the carnivore, and I'm sitting here eating my
Zimbabwe
carnivore
probably
food,
don't help.
I'm the weird one, like a family event or something.
Probably not helping.
Sometimes I'll just eat a big, huge meal before, and I'll just go there and fast. So I'll just talk to people. It's a shame in the English community because it's like Christmas. This should be about God and family and togetherness. And in the English community, it's just all about presents and eating food. And that's all we talk about. What are we going to eat? Every single holiday, what are we going to eat? So I like kind of changing that paradigm.
It appears to be clearing up, Benny. The last couple days have been a lot better with the air quality and stuff. Let's take a look right now. Smoke map from... Oh, I do a little bit of everything. So I do a little bit of everything. Yeah, it's starting to clear out. Looks like we're going to get another blast today, though, to be honest with you. Looks like we're going to get another blippy there yesterday. Dude, it's almost over to the EU, dude. What is going on? It's going to be over at Rochi's. Rochi over in Portugal is going to be getting hit with this stuff. It's definitely better today. I can actually see like the sky a little bit, so that's a big plus. But it's definitely still here. Definitely still here. Maybe 50 years ago, an open mind was beneficial. Now I feel like I have to block the majority of everything out, or I'll walk around like a neurotic freak. Yeah, I think I've honestly been clinically depressed since I was like 9 years old, which is a crazy thing to say. Crazy thing to say, Rom. I think I started dealing with clinical depression very, very, very young. Anxiety severely started for me, especially in social situations. And dude, I can get to a point where I have severe anxiety. Like I'm sitting home alone, and this is the problem, and this is why I'm going to see somebody for it. I can be sitting home alone. Everything in the world is right. All the bills are paid. Everything's good. The fridge is full of food. I got a happy little dog sitting on my lap. I am good. I am well fed. I'm losing weight. Life's going good. And I am so violently stressed and anxious for just no reason. And it never ends. It never ends. I don't know what to do, and I'm not making any decisions until I see the professional. I'm not going to make any decisions on anything, but I think it might be time just to stop taking everything I'm on. I'm currently on not SSRIs. I don't take SSRIs, but I do take Wellbutrin and 2 other anti-anxiety meds, and I swear they don't do shit. I swear they don't do anything. They could potentially be making things worse, but with that stuff, you got to be really careful. You got to be really careful. You do, when you're getting off of meds like that, you don't just want to stop taking them. You do have to taper off of those things. You got to be really careful.
Let's make this about what it
So
should
I don't know
be.
if any of you guys have similar situations like that, but I'd be
let's
curious to know.
Be together.
And again,
as family
even
and
if I
visit
am
with
the only
people
one here
and
that
see
has
them.
something like that, again, I
Just
want to be
talking
open about
food.
all of it because I want people who are dealing with the same thing to be able to see that. You know what I mean? This
This
is a weight loss journey. This overall is a weight loss journey, but it is more so an overall health journey as well. It truly is.
It's really not expensive.
Because in the English, everyone, they look for excuses
I
not to
will.
do this. I can't afford to just eat
I
meat.
will.
And what you said is so true. I don't have side dishes. I don't have sauces. I don't have spices. I don't have anything to drink but water. Prior to this, when I wasn't eating carnivore, I would go to the grocery store with a list, and we gotta have this side and this spice. And, oh, what about this? Dinner's gonna be ruined without this. And you're right. Now it's just
How old do you think I
ground
am?
beef
That's
patties
the real
and some
question.
eggs. And if you're able to raise a lot of that meat yourself, then it's even less expensive. But the other thing that people don't account for in that whole calculation too is I have so much more energy eating this way. If anyone here thinks they have brain fog right now, you don't realize the extent of it. Because when you're in the fog, you can't see the fog.
Yeah. If you just stop taking it, it can really amp suicide thoughts, depression, give you more anxiety. I mean, here's the thing that drives me nuts. I think you're 40, maybe 41. Almost. Yeah, and the craziest thing for me is when you look at antidepressants and anti-anxiety and stuff, you're taking it to help with your anxiety, you're taking it to help with your depression, yet the major side effects are may cause depression, may cause anxiety. It's, wait a minute. Peterson reaction? Yeah, absolutely. You definitely, I will never just stop taking mental health meds. I will never just stop cold turkey. I will 100% under supervision taper off of them the proper way. But I'm excited. I'm excited to get in and see this guy and get a good talk. He seems to be a very, very good fit for what I'm looking for. So very interesting.
It's not until you're out of it that you can see it. And a lot of people have brain fog for years and years and decades. And when you have something like that happen slowly, that becomes your new normal. Okay.
And he told me if they use sheep milk, they freeze dry it, that sheep that are fed green, the babies will have more trouble with earaches and flus and that. Whereas grass-fed sheep, they have no problem.
Interesting.
So it might be the same.
I think you're right. Right. So I just did a video yesterday with a doctor, and he gave us a presentation on salmon, on farm-raised salmon versus just fresh caught. And to your point, it was very similar. So the farm.
Wish I could find that one Dave Mack interview mentioned a few times before talking about being carnivore, experienced no healing. It wasn't until he got off all the meds. Yeah, I'd be curious to see that one. I'm starting to wonder because one of the biggest things that is just the same across the board for everyone, uniform across the board for everyone I've talked to doing carnivore. Everyone I've talked to doing carnivore, everyone I talked to at Meat Stock, if they had depression, if they had anxiety, they got off all their meds. They felt 10 times better. Their depression and anxiety all went away. Whereas I feel mine's getting worse by the day. So I have some outside factors, stuff I'm not really going to talk about. I do have a couple outside factors right now that are really pushing the stress, but there's really nothing I can do about that at the moment. I guess I just stopped taking. Some people can. Carrie did too, Ram. Carrie, man, he cold turkeyed like every medication he was on. He cold turkey like everyone. Hold on, I gotta. Woo! It's getting hot down here. I gotta put this hair off my neck, dude. This hair is just like a blanket around your neck. Whoo! Good gravy, it's spicy down here. I spent the whole first half of stream talking about how I don't sweat like a normal human being, and then here I am just a little while later kind of sweating my off. Is that even going to fit? No. Wait, what about this? What about this? Oh, does that work? Can I pull my big old man bun through the back of the hat? I can. There we go. Much better. My goggle, that is 10 times better already. Oh, we're going to have fun now, boys. Hold on. Let's have some fun because, so yeah, I called this at the beginning and you still went for it, which is the best part. So we're going to pop you right up over here. So this is the funny thing over on Twitch is people come in, and this is not stop. This is 3 to 4 times a day when you're trying to stream. People come over and they act like the homie. They ask interesting questions. How are you? How's your stream? How long you been streaming? All these fun, cutesy little things. But the end game is trying to get you to buy emotes off of them and custom-made stuff for your streams at the end of the day. This is why I brought it up earlier, so I knew exactly what you're up to from the get-go, and we're going to have the YouTube crew just kind of laughing at you right now. I worked territory sales manager for many years. You got to work on your sales pitch. You really got to work on your sales pitch because that's a joke. You're not even trying. Where's the effort? You got to get some original stuff. You truly do. You truly, truly do. Motion creates emotion. Get up, move around, create yourself a new pitch, work harder, do better. Just do better as a human being. How about that? On that note, we are going to fuck you off for the day. Goodbye, and, well, have a miserable day. Toodaloo. And another one bites the dust.
Raised salmon, they're feeded all.
This reminds me, I've been playing the long game. I need about 350. I feel it was right about that time that I realized that Girl Scout was 3 stories tall and the Loch Ness Monster. I've only been watching you for all this time to achieve 350. I keep talking about my experiences with the doctor about the statins, but for me, it was shortly thereafterwards that I just didn't trust medicine anymore and dropped my medications. I really want to get off a lot of them. Again, with that blood pressure reading the other day, I'm kind of really excited about that because, dude, 110/68 is cool. That is a really good number. I'm super, super happy with that blood pressure reading. So I'm kind of hoping I see my primary care on Thursday of this week. She's an absolute sweetheart. I want to ask about bringing down the dose. I want to ask about bringing down the dose on my lisinopril. I want to keep the water pill for now. With how much I've been retaining water with the stalls and stuff lately, I am kind of hesitant to give up the water pill. I do want to keep that, but my primary blood pressure medication is lisinopril. I do want to see if I can half the dosage of that because we're going to take BP again tonight. If I have a consistently low one like I did tonight, then I think I'm going to be comfortable bringing it down. Start scaling that down. Antidepressants will be working on soon. Anxiety will be working on soon. All my indigestion stuff I'm completely off of now. What else do I have? Trying to think what else I take. Rest of the stuff I take is really just supplements and stuff. The GLP's gone. I do keep the prop around. I keep a box of Zepbound around as a little talking piece here, just a little prop. Just remember, guys, carnivore works, but according to everyone on Instagram, I should just be doing this every day. I should be plunging one of these into my gut once a week instead of doing carnivore. That's what everyone on Instagram tells me. That's what a bunch of people on Instagram tell me. Just remember that. Just remember that. I was on GLPs for so long. I was on GLPs for 15 months. Peptides, bro. Get you some semaglutide, retaglutide. GLPs. I can get them for you if you want. Brother, you don't need to go to a doctor. I got a nice little website you can order GLPs off of. I actually had. And just to show you my commitment here, just to show you my commitment to doing things right here and trying to be transparent and everything else, I had a company that sells peptides. I had a peptide company that also does GLP-1s that reached out to try and sponsor me. There was some money to it. There was some money to it. And I told them to fuck off. I said, no way. I said, no way. Vast majority of my videos now are talking about how I got off of the GLP. How I got away from the GLP. And you think I'm going to come out here and advertise that people should go on a GLP through a website that doesn't even have a fucking doctor attached to it for thyroid testing, management, bone density, muscle mass? You don't monitor any of that stuff and you just mail people GLPs in a syringe? And you think I'm going to take that money? No. No. I told him to kick sand. Told him to kick sand. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Not doing it. Not doing it. I don't want to become one of those channels that are the TRT and peptide mills are running. It's insane. It's insane, dude. Everyone who suggests that I will eat through it. I used to eat until I vomited. There you go. There you go. TRT, yeah, dude, it's nuts. It's nuts. The only peptide that I have considered and I am loosely looking into is BPC 157. Because I have seen a lot of people touting what it's done for their joint damage and their arthritis. So that is somewhat interesting. The thing that scares me about it is none of it's FDA regulated, which I know. But at the same time, even though it's not regulated, how do I know? How do I know that, number one, I'm getting a pure product? How do I know the dosage is right and it's not just some shit out of China that could be anything that I'm going to inject near my joints? Like, that's what scares the shit out of me. Oh, it's working wonders for me. I'm like, okay, well, where do you source it? Oh, I got a guy in China. I'm like, that doesn't sound very trustworthy, my friend. Like, that don't sound like the most trustworthy thing I've ever heard in my life. So I'm going to pass on that. As miracle cure as it sounds, you know, it's easy to get sucked in and want to have the miracle cures for everything, but there's no flip a switch and it fixes everything. There really is
sorts of stuff really that is not species appropriate for salmon. They're feeding it soy and junk. The salmon gets sick, and then the humans that eat the salmon get sick. So it's an interesting thing. So humans, when we eat it,
I like what he's saying about wild caught versus farm raised salmon here, and he does have a valid concern. I think he has an incredibly valid concern. My argument is, have you seen the price of wild caught salmon? The price of wild caught salmon right now. I got some the other day. I got a big old fillet the other day. It took me 3 stores. I had to go to 3 different stores to find one that had wild caught salmon. Wifey was with me. I said, hey, we found it. We're good. Let's go. Neither of us looked at the price tag. I got up to the register and they rang up that one salmon fillet and I just went, holy shit. $26.99 a pound. $26.99 a pound for salmon. Like, you got me fucked up. You think I'm paying that much for salmon, dude? I mean, if that's the option, if the farm raised really is that detrimental in that case, like, I just won't eat salmon anymore, I guess. I'll avoid the bad kind, but I sure as hell can't afford the good kind. Do they say they were an American company, even though everything comes out of China? You owe me a Coke? True facts. You remember the lettuce and poop parasite thing lately? They blamed Taylor Farms after a single false positive test. Why didn't they do more than one before pointing a finger? You know, yeah, no, it makes sense. It makes sense. You'd think they do a lot of validation and verification type stuff when it comes to something that serious, but we're talking our government. We're talking our government, man. It's all just a joke at this point.
Human diet, we get sick. But then also a lot of us get sick from eating animals that are fed an inappropriate diet. I talk about this stuff so much. All my friends and family, they're like, don't go near him and say anything about food because he's not going to shut up.
Gary is a talker, man. He is a talker.
Jen. We just finished an amazing evening converting an entire town, maybe close to a town, a village. Over 30 people. It was crazy when I showed up. We got there a little early.
They aren't the organization I used to be. Doesn't surprise me. Does not surprise me one bit. Really does not surprise me.
Nobody was there. I'm like, did they mean 6 o'clock in the morning? We were there at 6 p.m. and there was nobody there. They all arrived promptly and shortly afterward. I talked to 3 or 4 other people, including the one guy we coached. He was there. I'm so glad he reminded me. He said, you gave us that keto mojo.
Those are AI Amishes.
Was that
AI
Bob's?
Amishes.
Or Bob Eaters or Butter Bobs?
Bob's or Bob's?
It was Bob or Bob's. I don't remember. So it is amazing and a blessing
Buttered
to be able to
Robert.
talk to people that actually want to
Butter
hear
Bob,
this.
what happened to Butter Bob? He slowed right down again. Butter Bob, you in stream? Butter Bob Briggs, you in stream? Speak up if you are. I'm curious. He has not been making a lot of videos lately. I think he got super busy. I have not seen, I think he had one the other day I watched, but I have not seen him very active again lately.
Information and they're listening. Like, there's a lot of people that are going to be starting this now. God is good. It's all part of God's plan. It's amazing. I'm thankful that Jen and I have been put in a position to do things like this. It's incredible. We're going to do more videos on this and we're going to share more healing. And if you want to watch more, I have a show. That's right. If you want to see the Amish Carnivore Show, we've got 4 episodes in this show now. I will have a link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. Hit the thumb.
Carrie Mann out here single-handedly, well, double-handedly, because he's got Jen with him, out here taking on the Amish community. Very nice stuff. Whoa, Nick Shirley testified in front of Congress. Again, I don't want to get political around here, but that, man, that seems like a really good watch. I'm going to pop
now the highest government.
Because I'll be watching that today at some point. I'll be watching that today.
Now the highest government-funded daycare in Minnesota has pleaded guilty.
Let's see what Max German has going on. If I had 2 weeks to kill visceral fat, this is what I do. Oh,
my current total body fat level is around 10%. And my visceral fat, the dangerous fat that sits around your organs and gives you that bloated look, is just 0.7%. It took me years and years to get here, only because I made...
How do you measure visceral fat percentage like that? I'm very curious how that is done. Let them know the butter and eggs are making my pants fall off. I will pass the message. I'll pass the message.
Made so many mistakes along the way. If someone had told me what I'm about to share with you today, back then, I would have gotten there so much faster. So today, I'm going to save you all of those years and break down the exact 5-step protocol that I'd follow if I had to start over and lose all of my visceral fat again as fast as humanly possible. The first step in this protocol is backed by one of the most insane studies I've ever read. It was published in 2022 in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology. In it, researchers looked at how sleep affected visceral fat levels. And this is one of those studies you read and go, man, I really hope the researchers paid the participants very well. How the study worked is they got 12 individuals and ran them through 2 phases. In phase 1, they subjected them to 14 days of sleep deprivation, where they could only sleep a total of 4 hours per night.
Fuck
In
that.
the other phase, they let them sleep normally with up to 9 hours of sleep per night. To ensure validity of the results, these phases were 3 months apart. Now these subjects had to stay in a lab the whole time during both phases, which means they likely didn't move very much, and they also had unlimited food during both of these phases. So in both phase 1 and 2, they did on average gain weight. Surprisingly, however, likely due to the fact that each period was only 14 days long, both phases actually led to a similar amount of total body fat gain. But what makes this study so fascinating is where they actually stored this fat was very different between the 2 groups. When they slept normally, the fat they gained didn't significantly build up in the abdomen at all. There was actually no detectable increase in visceral fat. But during the phase that they were sleep deprived, the fat they gained went specifically to the abdomen. In particular is visceral fat. When sleep deprived, their visceral fat levels in just 14 days actually increased on average by around 11%. The reason for this is due to a hormone called cortisol. This is a very complex hormone, but in large part it acts as a stress hormone. How cortisol works is that it travels through your bloodstream and reaches almost every part of your body. However, it cannot actually do anything until it locks on to specific receptors. Once this happens, it lets the cell use it. The reason cortisol increases visceral fat levels is because visceral fat cells actually have 2 to 4 times more cortisol receptors than just regular subcutaneous fat cells. So when cortisol is high, it essentially gives body fat its own express lane, which allows it to bypass subcutaneous fat storage and instead sends it straight to be stored as visceral fat. In fact, in a study done on rats, researchers gave them extra corticosterone, which is the rat's version of cortisol. After 10 days, they found that their visceral fat grew substantially, whilst their subcutaneous...
Who's signing up for it? I guess there's a lot of desperate people out there. I was going to say, who's actually signing up for a study like that? Like, hey, we're going to pump you full of artificial cortisol and see if your visceral fat spikes up. I wouldn't raise my hand for that one.
Cutaneous fat, which is the regular type of fat that you can see and grab, didn't change at all. The easiest and most effective way to decrease cortisol levels as fast as humanly possible is simply to get better sleep. Because poor sleep increases cortisol levels, it's very important that if
sleep has been my major focus,
you're looking to reduce visceral fat, you get enough total sleep, which according to current science is ideally around 8 hours, and just as importantly, you get good quality sleep. This is why when I was trying to reduce my visceral fat as fast as possible, I sat my wife down one day and had a serious chat to her. And pay attention, because this right here is step 1 in this protocol. I said to her, listen babe, last night I woke up twice. I was freezing because you rolled over and took all the blankets with you. And on top of that, there was one other time I woke up because you kicked me in your sleep. This right here, it can't keep happening. A 2015 study published in Sleep found that waking up during the night reduces deep sleep by 41%. I'm serious about trying to get this visceral fat down, so you're gonna have to sleep on the couch. Okay, fine. I'm joking. I didn't actually do that. I would actually highly advise against doing this. Not that I've ever been through a divorce or even been married for that matter either, but I would imagine that a divorce would certainly not be something that is ideal for bringing your cortisol levels down. Instead, the actual easiest thing you can do to improve your sleep quality, starting tonight in fact, is simply to be careful with your caffeine intake. A key mechanism as to why caffeine makes you feel more awake is because it blocks a hormone called adenosine. How adenosine works is it builds up the longer you're awake to essentially create a sleep pressure. But caffeine has a very similar molecular structure to adenosine, so it actually slots into the adenosine receptors on your cells.
Wait, hold on, we're talking
How
coffee?
adenosine works is it builds up the longer you're awake to essentially create a sleep pressure. But caffeine has a very similar molecular structure to adenosine, so it actually slots into the adenosine receptors on your cells, and therefore blocks the sleepy hormone from working. And it does this for a long time. Caffeine has what is referred to as a quarter life of around 10 to 12 hours, which means that 10 to 12 hours after you drink it, a quarter of the caffeine is still in your system, and therefore blocking adenosine from not only allowing you to fall asleep, but also to get into deep sleep. A 2013 study published in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine found that caffeine administered 6 hours prior to bed increased time taken to fall asleep by 117%, reduced total sleep duration by over an hour, and reduced total slow wave sleep, which is often referred to as deep sleep, by 31%. So the first thing I would do to decrease visceral fat levels as fast as humanly possible is to make sure to stop consuming caffeine at least 10 hours before bed. There's also one other thing you can do to drastically improve your sleep quality, and therefore lose visceral fat. Now I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of a boring one. However, it works very well. And for those of you with very busy lives, this right here is a great one. What happens when you go to bed and wake up at the same time every day is it trains your body clock. This is referred to as your circadian rhythm. In doing this, your body starts to release a hormone called melatonin at the same time every night. Unlike adenosine, which builds up the longer you're awake to create the sleep pressure, melatonin does the opposite and acts as the timing signal that tells your body nighttime has arrived. So by simply staying consistent with the time you wake up and the time you fall asleep, very shortly you will begin to fall asleep faster. Often when I say to the clients I work with,
I have 120% noticed this myself in just day-to-day life. I always got a good amount of sleep, but my time frame was different every night. Some nights I'd be in bed at 9 o'clock. Some nights I'd go to bed at 3 in the morning. Some nights I'd go to bed at 11 o'clock, midnight, 10. It was all over the place. After I started going to bed at the same time every night, my God, did it sort out all my sleep issues. It sorted out so many of my sleep issues in one go. It's not even funny. I started sleeping so much better.
To lose visceral fat. That if they want to get the best results,
and my biggest problem was, like he's saying, it helps with falling asleep easier. That was one of my biggest problems. That was one of my biggest problems, was being able to fall asleep. Hey, Scooter. Hey, Scooter, you're such a good dog. Do I have a Kenworth? I got 2 dogs, man. I got a dog for each hand. Either way I reach down under the desk, I get to pet a dog. Pretty cool.
Get more sleep. They say to me, Max, look, what you're saying, it makes sense. I know you're right. However, I simply don't have time. And that right there is why this trick is such a great one. It means that even if you spend the same amount of time physically in bed, because very soon you'll start to fall asleep faster, you're going to end up getting more total sleep. So that's the second step in this protocol. Try to be consistent with your sleep schedule. Now the third step in this protocol is one where you'd probably expect me to say the opposite. What most people are told is that if they want to lose visceral fat as fast as they possibly can, they should be doing lots of brutal cardio, such as long runs, where you'd probably expect me to say the opposite.
Speaking of haircuts, I'm not saying I dislike Max German's hair. I think he's got a fine thing going on. However, that hanging in front of my eyeballs all day would drive me insane. Or like, man, was it the gaming life and Red Bulls and blue light? Oh, I'm sure that didn't help. I am sure that did not help. I am 100% sure that did not help, man. Just staring at a screen all day long. All day long. The same screen. Stuff aggressively moving across the screen. Paying attention to minuscule text on the screen. The blue light, drinking. I used to drink G Fuel, which is a powdered energy drink you can get. It's like electrolyte powder. You just mix up a caffeinated drink whenever you want. I used to drink sometimes 4 or 5 of those a day. Each one had like over 150 milligrams of caffeine. It was bad. It was bad. And smoke cigarettes. A pack a day on top of all that. How I don't have diabetes or died of a heart attack at this point, I'm going to be brutally honest, I don't know. Thank my lucky stars.
What most people are told is that if they want to lose visceral fat as fast as they possibly can, they should be doing lots of brutal cardio, such as long runs or hours and hours on the Stairmaster. However, this is not something you want to be doing. High intensity exercise also causes a significant spike in cortisol. A 2008 study published in the Journal of Endocrinological Investigation found that cycling for 30 minutes had almost no cortisol rise at an easy 40% effort, about a 40% rise at a moderate 60% effort, and an 83% rise at a hard 80% effort. So the best form of exercise to burn visceral fat is actually low intensity exercise such as walking. In a recent video I made, I broke down how according to a 2022 study published in Physical Activity and Nutrition, if you got 10,000 steps,
how do you guys feel about Thomas DeLauer? I used to watch
a total of 9,000.
Actually, hold on.
My current total body.
I used to watch Thomas DeLauer quite a bit. Maybe we'll have to check out some of his stuff. He was a big boy. He was like 300 pounds. He was like over 300 pounds. I think he does keto still too. I'm pretty sure he's still a keto guy. Pretty sure he's still keto. I doth believeth.
1,000 extra steps per day. You'd burn an extra
2.5
to 3.2 pounds of fat, or 1.1 to 1.4 kilograms per month. Times that by 12 and it's 30 to 38 pounds, or 13.5 to 17.5 kilos per year. So, that's step 3. Try to increase step count. The next step in this protocol is one that can make a massive difference to visceral fat levels, but is also something that anyone can follow very easily, and you don't even have to change that much. To understand why this method is so effective at reducing visceral fat, it is very important to understand one fact about a hormone called insulin. When it comes to fat loss, especially visceral fat loss, this is the master hormone. How insulin works is that when you eat, your body converts some of it into sugar. The sugar is then transported to your blood and your blood sugar levels rise. Now, your body doesn't want sugar floating around in your blood. So to ensure this doesn't happen, it releases insulin. Like cortisol and adenosine, Insulin must bind to receptors to have any effect.
Alright,
When
now we're all
insulin
sorted
binds to its receptor, it tells the cell to open up, pull the sugar out of your blood.
I have heard that about him quite a bit, Benny. He does a lot of contradictory stuff from video to video. It does seem like a lot of his stuff is really like based on just getting views. But again, that could just be me. But maybe I'll look into him a little bit more behind the scenes. And if everything's looking copacetic, maybe we'll watch some of his stuff on the next stream. But maybe not. Maybe not. Like I said. Just want to pop in and say what's going on. I'll be chopping some wood in the back. I'll be listening. Oh, sounds good, Uncle. Appreciate you stopping by. I would love to chop some wood, to be honest with you. Chopping wood is such a good exercise. Such a good chest and arm workout. Just beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Enjoy yourself.
And bring it in. And here's where it gets interesting for visceral fat. Insulin, like we saw with cortisol, it doesn't treat all of your fat cells the same. We know this from a groundbreaking study published in the journal Diabetes, which found that visceral fat cells also have more of these insulin receptors packed onto them, and the ones they've got respond faster and harder the moment insulin shows up. This means that if you simply keep your insulin levels low, you're not only less likely to store fat as visceral fat in the first place, but you're also going to burn more visceral fat. This is because it's the first place your body reaches for the moment your insulin drops low enough. Now, if you're eating from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed, with meals every few hours along with your snacks, your insulin is going to be raised all day long. So the easiest change you can make to lower your insulin levels is simply to eat during a set time window. Even if the food itself or the total amount of food you're eating doesn't change by very much, just by having more hours where you're not eating, insulin will be low for longer. This gives your body a lot more time each day to actually reach in and burn that visceral fat off. A great place to start is to eat all of your meals within a 10-hour window. So if you have your first meal at 7 AM, stop eating by 5 PM. Now, if you're used to eating from the moment you wake to the moment you sleep, at the start this might be hard. But what actually happens is within just a couple of...
As someone who kind of came off my intermittent fasting routine, and I'm trying to get it locked back in right now, it's been really hard. For something I was doing for a couple months on end with absolute ease, when I did get off my schedule a little bit, getting back onto it is proving quite difficult right now. It's proving really difficult. I've been good for 2 days. Been really good for 2 days. I got to cut myself off by 4 p.m. tonight and I'll be good to go. But it's been interesting. It's been interesting trying to get locked back in. So just take that as a forewarning, because yeah, it's difficult sometimes getting back
your
to
body
the routine.
actually
It
adjusts
really
to
is.
this eating window. And as a result, your hunger hormones start to regulate around it. So even if you're very hungry when starting out, what you'll find is that a couple weeks in, you don't even think about food other than during this set time window. Over time, as it gets much easier to stick to this window, you can shorten this window down even further if you like. So that's step 4 in this protocol. Eat in a 10-hour window. But there's a way to take this even further. We know that insulin is the master fat storage hormone, so we want to do everything we can to get this as low as possible in order to lose visceral fat as fast as possible. And again, with this one here, you don't even have to eat less total food. This step right here is the most important step in the entire protocol. In fact, if you were to ignore everything I've said during this entire video, and you only did this one thing right here, there's a pretty good chance you would lose a lot of visceral fat very fast. The easiest way to see why this is so effective is to imagine 3 meals. One is 50 grams of only fat, say butter, with basically 0 protein or carbs. The second is 50 grams of just protein, say a lean chicken breast. And the final meal is pure carbohydrates. For example, regular brown rice. Meal 1 would do basically nothing to your blood sugar and therefore insulin levels. No, this isn't a mistake. Fats do not increase blood sugar and therefore do not increase insulin either. The protein meal would do something a little different. It would cause a small rise in your blood sugar and therefore insulin.
I've noticed that anytime I've taken a glucose reading, like right after a meal or even within like an hour of a meal, it's always elevated. It is always elevated, like every single time.
However, this right here is what brown rice would do to your blood sugar and insulin levels.
And the beautiful thing is we actually got to see this in real time. When my wife got her continuous glucose monitor, we were able to map this stuff in real time. It was so interesting. So interesting to see when she ate carbs. What this graph is showing, that spike to come right up versus just the fats and proteins and everything else where it would stay more uniform, just have a little bit of a blip and then go right back down. It was so crazy to be able to just press a button and see that on the fly. Those continuous glucose monitors are awesome. They really are.
And if you thought that was bad, wait till you see what other types of carbohydrates will do. You see, when it comes to your blood sugar, a gram of fat or protein, regardless of their source, for the most part have essentially the exact same effect. But with carbohydrates, this is certainly not the case. Depending on factors such as its fiber content, how it's processed, and the actual physical structure of the food, how fast each type of carbohydrate gets broken down and absorbed can be drastically different. So with two different carb sources, even if you consume the exact same amount of actual carbohydrates, they can have very different effects on your blood sugar levels. The slowest digesting carb sources, like brown rice, raise your blood sugar only about 1/3 as much as the fastest ones do. So if you were to consume carbohydrates in a very fast absorbing form, say for example sugar, the blood sugar spike and therefore insulin spike you get from this could be roughly 2 to 2.5 times higher than it would be with brown rice. And since higher blood sugar levels drive higher insulin, and higher insulin drives visceral fat storage, you can certainly see why this is not ideal for someone who is looking to lose visceral fat. In a 1984 study in
I'm looking to
diabetes
lose all the fat.
researchers gave
Visceral,
diabetics a
non-visceral,
50-gram
just-
serving of
it all
protein
needs
on
to go.
one day and a 50-gram serving of pure sugar the next. The protein gave essentially no rise, but the sugar drove blood sugar all the way up from 156 to 271 milligrams per deciliter within just an hour. So fats don't raise your blood sugar, protein only does to a very minor degree. But carbohydrates, while they send your blood sugar anywhere from considerably higher to pathologically high levels. I think you can guess what the next tip is. Yes, that's right, you need to head to your local bar as soon as it opens, because alcohol actually decreases your blood sugar levels. Now, one time when I was trying to lose visceral fat, I actually got stuck in traffic. So I missed the opening of my bar by an hour, and what actually happened is my visceral fat levels went up to 0.8%. In order to make up for it, I had to cut my eating window down in half. Obviously that's a joke, please don't actually do this. Alcohol actually does bring your blood sugar levels down, but that's simply because it's so toxic that your liver stops releasing sugar while it's busy rapidly trying to get it out of your system. The actual next tip, the actual final most important thing in this protocol is to lower your overall carbohydrate intake. The best way to do this is by eating more of one.
Yeah, absolutely. We got digging the other night, Benny. I think when I do reintroduce veggies, I identified the 4 vegetables I'm going to reintroduce. Going higher fiber stuff. Very, very, probably the best stuff I can do. I'm going to reintroduce pickles, avocados, bell peppers, and asparagus are the only 4 I'm going to reintroduce. We're going to try to reintroduce those 4, very minimal at first, but those are the 4 that I am going to be bringing back. I looked at everything side by side, and I think those are the 4 best options. I really do.
Specific food. By eating more of this specific food, you'll not only drastically lower your insulin and cortisol levels, but you'll also be providing your body with key nutrients it needs in order to burn visceral fat. So then, what is this food that I'm talking about? In the field of biology, there is a concept called a species-appropriate diet. Put simply, when an animal eats what it's evolved to eat, it develops adaptations to that specific food.
Right before stream, I walked both dogs for a mile. They are shot. They are both shot, man. They are both just snoozing down here.
Every single animal ever studied, when they are left in the wild to eat their species-appropriate diet, the diet they have eaten throughout all of their evolutionary history, they have very low levels of disease, very balanced hormones, and in fact, they actually don't get fat at all. The only animals with disease and obesity are humans and the animals who we alter the diet of. For example, meat-producing livestock, animals being studied, or our pets. So then, what is the species-appropriate diet for us humans? Based on every archaeological study ever done looking at our fossil record, it is very clear that humans, for most of our existence, consumed a diet that was primarily made up of meat. In fact, every single plant we eat today is actually man-made. They were all created through a process called selective breeding in only the last 10,000 years or so. This means that up until a very short time ago in evolutionary terms, humans consumed basically only meat, with only a very small amount of plants and carbohydrates. This is also supported by our physiology. We have a digestive system that is very similar to other carnivorous species, with a highly acidic stomach, short intestine length, and minimal capacity for hindgut fermentation. The truth is, humans are biologically adapted to meat, and therefore it is the least inflammatory food on the planet. It's also very low in carbohydrates, which, as we now all know, this is going to mean our insulin levels stay low. On top of this, it's very high in a nutrient called creatine, which is very important for burning fat. The reason creatine is important for fat loss is because in nearly every cell in your body, there is a component called the mitochondria. Mitochondria are tiny engines inside your cells that burn fat. Adequate creatine levels are very important at ensuring these mitochondria run fast. The faster these engines run, the more fat they're going to burn. Because meat is so high in creatine, eating more of it is going to considerably increase your creatine levels, and therefore allow you to burn more visceral fat. This creatine in meat is also the real natural form of creatine, rather than a lab-made synthetic version like you get with supplements. This means you are getting the best possible form of creatine. As a whole, eating a species-appropriate diet, which is largely meat-based, is going to bring your insulin and your cortisol levels down. So the final step in this protocol, the most important one, is to reduce carbohydrate intake and to start eating more meat, which is exactly what the human biology is optimized to consume. This right here is the exact...
All right, so this is his master list right here of ways to get visceral fat off of you. More steps, I'm working on that. Consistent sleep schedule, I got that locked in. 10-hour eating window, I'm currently in a 6-hour eating window, so that's going really well. Although, I might extend that. I could extend to an 8 or a 10. I think it would still be fine either way. I really don't think it's going to cause that much of a difference. Less carbs, more meat. Already got that in the bag. No caffeine 10 hours before bed. I do got to work on that one. I'm very, very bad about having my last dose of caffeine like an hour to 2 hours before I try to go to bed, and I think that's probably not helping a ton. So definitely some stuff to work on, but I think a lot of this stuff we're looking really good on. We're definitely looking really, really good across the board here.
5-step protocol I would follow if I had to lose all of my visceral fat again as fast as possible. And if you'd like some assistance putting all of this into practice, I'd like to invite you to take part in my 90-day fat loss program. In this program, we will work one-on-one together to design the perfect diet and lifestyle program that optimizes your biology. This makes fat loss effortless, while simultaneously sending your energy levels to an all-time high. Hundreds of people have already had life-changing transformations through this program. If you're ready to be next, you can click the top link in the description of this video. It will take you straight to the Built by Biology website. Anyway, as always, great speaking with you, and I'll see you next time.
Hey, probably not going to watch The Fifth Element. We ain't going to watch The Fifth Element today. Another awesome video by Max German. The way he can break down biology and all these studies and stuff for a way that a simple man like myself can read it and understand it is impeccable. I love it. Love his videos. Super, super excited. Ask Gronk how to predict your visceral fat. I do need to find this out because I do have an appointment with my primary care doctor on Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. And I want to try and get as much stuff done as I can. Wait, does a BIA... No way a BIA shows visceral, right? Does a BIA show visceral? BIA scan does not show visceral. Most accurate medical imaging gold standard, CT scan or MRI. These directly visualize and measure visceral fat with high precision. CT is faster but involves radiation. MRI does not. DEXA scan, excellent practical opinion. It measures total body composition and estimates visceral fat, often in the Android region, quite accurately. Android? Okay, Android region. Low radiation, relatively affordable, $50 to $150, and available at many clinics, gyms, or DEXA scanners. So, BIA does not... Wait, hold on. Good convenience. Bioelectrical impedance analysis. BIA. Smart scales and professional devices, in-body arm-on weathings, use electrical currents to estimate body composition, including visceral fat rating. Typical scale, 1 to 59 rating. Healthy range, usually 1 to 2. Where does it show it then? I'm curious because I'm not seeing it. Oh! Visceral fat level. I'm at a level 26. Oh, shit, boys. All right, the healthy range. The healthy range for visceral fat is between a 1 to 12. I am at a 26. Now, here's the scariest part of this whole thing. So, BIA shows my visceral fat. It's showing that I am double the healthy range. Over double the healthy range. Not good. That's not a fantastic number. Why have none of my doctors, not a single one, my primary, my weight loss doctor, any of them, none of them have pointed at that visceral fat and said, that number's bad. We need to work on that. Why have none of my doctors said that? I don't know. I don't know. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy they've never brought it up. I'm still waiting to hear back when my next BIA is going to be, by the way. So I need a BIA. I need a new BIA. That is the biggest thing right now. I think for just looking at visceral again, I think that's going to be a really good thing, but also to find out what's going on with my muscle mass and to figure out what's going on with my current weight loss stall. So I'm going to try and find out more on that today. Maybe that ping I just got was a message. No, just my homie checking on his dog. Told him I cooked him into a puppy stew. There you go. Carnivore dog is on the menu today. So I'm going to work on getting my BIA scan done. We're about an hour and a half in. I had only intended to go an hour today. I have a lot of stuff to get done this afternoon. So we are going to call it there for the day, my friends. I truly appreciate each and every one of you guys stopping by. Honestly, you guys are so amazing during these streams. You are just phenomenal, every single one of you guys. We're getting bigger. We're getting bigger. We were holding double digits for a while today, which is awesome. I never foresaw streaming and having people actually wanting to watch this stuff. So this is a ton of fun. We got a lot of stuff to work on. We're going to work on getting the BIA done. We're working on the mental health side of things. I'm working on getting more exercise in. I'm working on making sure everything is locked in with my eating windows and tracking and all of that stuff. So again, I am very hopeful for this week. We have been stalled out for 5 weeks now. I am very, very excited and very hopeful that this is going to be the week that I break through, that we get the weight loss kicked back into gear. Very hopeful about it. The scale was looking promising this morning. I am down 2 pounds from Friday's weigh-in, so very happy about that. But we have a long way to go. To get back on track, we need to be back around 407 this week, and I'm at 411 right now. So I think it's within the realm of possibility. I have not made a decision on whether or not I'm going to fast or not this week, so we're going to have to kind of dial that in and see what happens. But thank each and every one of you guys for stopping by. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay well fed. I will be live again Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern time. I look forward to seeing you guys there. Hopefully I'll have everything looked in for the BIA scan by then. I probably won't have it done by then, but hopefully I'll have it scheduled and be looking at least a date for it. Would be very, very nice. So everything's looking good. Awesome videos today. Appreciate you guys stopping by. And remember, stay hydrated. Stay hydrated, everybody. Make sure you're getting your water in. Try and get some outside time in today. Tell a family member you love them. Reach out to a friend. Just do something cool today. Do something cool today. You'll feel better for it. Get some sun on you. You guys know how it goes. Love you guys. We'll check in soon. Bye-bye.
I saw a man brought to life. He was warm, he came around like he was dignified. He showed me what it was to cry. Well, you couldn't be that man I adored. You don't seem to know, seem to care what your heart is for. Well, I don't know him anymore. There's nothing where he used to lie. Conversation has run dry. That's what's going on. Nothing's fine, I'm torn. I'm all out of faith. This is how I feel. I'm cold and I am shamed, lying naked on the floor. Illusion never changed into something real. I'm wide awake and I can see the perfect sky is torn. was right. I should have seen just what was there and not some holy light.